Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's pre-orders, and they are live. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Alright, so we got a bunch of pre-orders coming up for sale this week. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look. So we have a ton of new stuff coming to Old World in the form of the new Chaos faction, rules, and all that good stuff. We've also got a bunch of the old models coming back as well. So let's kind of take a look at those. So we had the Sorcerer Chaos Lord on Steed. We've got the new Warriors Chaos Dice Set and the Warrior Chaos Reference Card Pack. We also have the Arcane Journal as well. So super exciting for people looking to play Chaos. And then we got the return of some of the older stuff. A lot of this coming in resin from Forge World. One of my favorite models coming back that's been gone forever is the Warpfire Dragon. This thing is absolutely awesome. Not a lot of the old stuff from Fantasy Battles holds up, but this Warpfire Dragon is still absolutely amazing. Beautiful sculpt. Now, comparative to like some of the newer stuff, obviously it's not as detailed. It's not a super high quality plastic kit. It is like old school resin, but you can definitely see the difference between like the old hand sculpted stuff compared to like the new CAD design stuff. Absolutely love this model. Super cool. Very happy to see it coming back. And for anybody out there that was trying to get one of these on like the third-party market, they're almost impossible to find, and you would easily pay at least this price or more. So while I'm not necessarily interested in picking up some of these old nostalgic models, I think it's cool that they're coming back, and I could totally understand why people would be excited to get a hold of one of these. And then moving on from there, we have the Hell Cannon, super cool model right here, little Chaos Dwarf action. The gigantic Chaos Spawn has always been cool. Skin Wolves are definitely pretty neat. The Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. And then we got like some of the more basic models returning. The Chaos Trolls. We also have a bunch of new upgrade frames for the old stuff. The old Chosen coming back. And again, I'm not a big fan of these like relative to the new Chosen models. But I think a lot of the old world stuff is really about like nostalgia. People completing like old collections that they had. Or rebuilding the collections they had when they were younger that they no longer have. Another model that really holds up is the Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount. Then we've got the Chaos Ogres, Dragon Ogres. And then we also have a lot of models from the existing range returning just in repackaged boxes. Don't mind the prices there. That was actually my bad. I was over on the Australian site. So the first couple of prices we looked at probably seemed a little higher than they should have been. That was because they were in Australian dollars. But we had the Chimera, the Chaos Lord Sorcerer, Chaos Warriors returning, Champion of Chaos. All existing models from the existing range, still current, but just being repackaged. We have the Chaos Lord on Manticore, probably one of the worst models that's still in the range in my opinion. This thing is like super two-dimensional and looks terrible. And then we have this new Warriors of Chaos Battalion, pretty nice box right here. And then a bunch of the Lord of the Rings stuff that came out over the last couple of weeks. Definitely some good stuff here. I know people are super excited for this, completing their collections, finishing out like the sort of season or like edition of the game. I can totally understand why people are excited to grab up some of these miniatures. All of the miniatures should transfer over to the new edition of Lord of the Rings with new rules, but the book and some of the existing rules obviously are not going to be up to date and are going to be changing. We've also got some of the tanks coming over from Legions in the last couple of weeks, the new campaign for Age of Darkness, and then the release of the Morvenval Spear of Faith hardback book for anybody that missed out on the limited edition book that recently released. And then finally, after what seems like years, we have the End in the Death Volume 1 coming in paperback. So anybody that's less interested in the hardbacks or like the limited editions they weren't able to get a hold of, but still wants to follow along with the story, we now have the ability to start picking up these books, reading up on the lore, and getting up to date. The Imperial Palace Roadmap, we got a ton of stuff came out for Mechanicum over on Horus Heresy recently. Some really, really nice looking models. Definitely coming at a premium price. Some of these are a little ridiculous. And obviously, if you still have access to that box set, I definitely recommend picking that up as it was a great deal now that we see like the official prices on some of this stuff. And just a little recap from last week as well. We did see that Blood Angels army set sell out extremely quickly. I try to warn people on this. There was a lot of pushback on the internet. People upset with like the upgrade frames or the value that I said was inside this box set. But the truth is, obviously, people recognize just how awesome of a box this was. The fact that it was $230 and had almost $600 worth of MSRP value inside is undeniable. So it's easy for people to be delusional or say that the upgrade sprues don't have the value they do, or that the codexes or models are overpriced. But the fact of the matter is, people recognize the value in this box set. People recognize just how nice of a box it is with the new characters and jumped on it. And now that we've gotten a look at the actual Blood Angels Codex, seen the rules, seen some battle reports in full effect, I really think it's a nice book. It's very thematic. I really like the 3 detachments, leaning in on sort of like the Sanguinary Guard and Jump detachment, the more traditional Blood Angels detachment, and then also the Death Company detachment as well. The characters are really nice, and I really like the new sculpts. And I definitely think this is a great thematic book. It's going to be competitive, but I don't think it's broken. And I absolutely love that Games Workshop packed as much value they did into this box set. Although with all of the releases they've been putting out lately, I wish they could recognize a little more accurately just what's going to be popular and get the supply and demand like more in line. Because I knew for a fact this was going to be extremely popular, and it did. It sold out just in minutes worldwide. But then you look at something like the Agents of the Imperial boxes, and they make 3 of those, and they're still available like weeks or like a month later. It was very obvious that those weren't going to be popular, and even if there was only one of them, the value wasn't there, the demand wasn't there, the interest wasn't there, the rules aren't there. But yet somehow they can't recognize that Blood Angels, one of the most iconic chapters, one of the most popular chapters, is not going to be like massively desired. Very, very strange. It's weird. I think Games Workshop is a very poorly run company. It's not their fault. They are obviously hamsters, and you can really only expect so much competency out of like what amounts to like a small little rodent house pet. But that being said, very sad for anybody that missed out on this, as it is an awesome and amazing box. I absolutely love the new character sculpts. The new upgrade sprues are really nice. The codex is great. The cards included. The value inside this box set is undeniable, no matter how delusional people want to act about it. The market has spoken, and this thing is extremely popular.
Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch, and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video.
And I am also super excited because I should be getting my Fortified Manor boxes anytime here in the mail. Some of my favorite terrain of all time has finally returned to Warhammer Fantasy Battle / the Old World. And I cannot wait to do like a build and paint video for the Fortified Manor and like the individual components. I've talked about this quite a bit, and I don't mean to drill home the point, as it is part of like the existing range and does look like it's going to be a permanent new addition or returning edition from Games Workshop. But this is some of the best terrain they have ever made, and I fully expect that after seeing this trend and the return of some of the stuff to the old world / fantasy setting, and then also to like the 40k setting in the Wall of Martyrs stuff, the Bastion and cool terrain like that that's been out of print now for a couple of years, I really think that they're going to be bringing back a lot of the old stuff for 40k as well, which is absolutely amazing because some of the best terrain they've ever made has been out of production now and sells at a massive premium. And bringing this back into production and allowing people to get a hold of this is really, really good for the game. It's going to make for much more awesome terrain layouts, setups, and some of the big pieces in general, while they're not like the typical like ITC type terrain, makes for some of the best games of 40k. Massive pieces with line of sight blocking and huge centerpiece terrain is what 40k is all about, and makes for amazing objectives and super thematic immersive games for people to be fighting over. So very, very cool. Definitely some exciting stuff coming out here. A bunch of the dwarves and chaos. Old world getting a lot of love. Necromunda as well. We're seeing a bunch of stuff for legions, 40k. Overall, just a ton of stuff coming out from Games Workshop. And then, of course, we're only a couple months away from Christmas now. So I expect a ton more of the Battle Force boxes to be coming. We still have the Combat Patrol for Blood Angels. And even though the roadmap was definitely underwhelming, and it does look like we're going to get no more faction releases for 40k until the end of the year, that just means 2025 is going to be absolutely action-packed with massive amount of releases. We're also going to get a full roadmap for Age of Sigmar, the release of all of the Skaven and Stormcast Eternals miniatures. And while we still got a few months left in 2024, it's definitely going to be going out with a bang. And it looks like 2025 is going to be just as exciting with tons and tons of awesome releases, new miniatures, new rules. And I think, honestly, 40k is in a great spot right now. Age of Sigmar 4.0 is extremely fun. Spearhead is an awesome addition to the game, and I really like that Games Workshop is taking a lot of the stuff that works in Sigmar and 40k and then putting it together in both game systems to improve the overall fun and gameplay. So that being said, very cool, very fun, lots of exciting stuff coming out here. We also have the new edition of Kill Team's going to be launching really soon, which is exactly what Kill Team needed because the game has just gotten completely bloated and just out of control. And I really think that the changes they're going to make kind of bring it back in line and make the game more fun. Is going to be an overall net positive effect on the game. So let me know what you're most excited about. Are you going to be picking up the Warpfire Dragon? Are you looking forward to the Arcane Journal for Chaos? Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And as always, special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm excited for the end of 2024 and what's to come in 2025. And I'm out of here.